Hello and welcome to Cyberside Chats. My name is Sherri Davidoff.
I'm Matt Durrin.
And today we are going to talk about holiday scams. Here we are recording in the lead up to Black Friday, and researchers are predicting a 520% surge in AI bot activity.
Yeah.
And why do I care? Why do I care if I do enterprise security? Why do businesses care? Well, the answer is that consumer security is corporate security these days. And we're really going to dig into that because these bots are harvesting credentials. Credentials are reused. People are using their own BYOD devices. And all these are a gateway into your organization. And along the way, Matt also wants to talk about gift card scams.
We will get to that, but yes. I mean, no, there's a lot of connections in between when we talk about personal security when it comes to like online shopping and enterprise security. And when we talk about this huge surge in activity right before the holiday seasons, I mean, there's a lot of reasons behind that. One of them is credential harvesting. Yeah. Bots are actively going out, they're stealing usernames and passwords, and as we've talked about before, we are bad with passwords. We tend to reuse them across multiple platforms, and that means our Amazon password may be the same as our corporate email password or something like that.
Even if you don't do that, there's reasons to be concerned. But backing up, a lot of this is driven by AI this year. I feel like a lot of organizations are starting to get a handle on basic security, but criminals are leveling up. And the rise of agentic AI and AI bots is fueling part of this. Yeah. In fact, there was a great report by Akamai, the fraud and abuse report that just came out November 2025. And in one of the charts I thought was interesting is that bot detection is actually down a little bit, but AI bot detection is up 300%.
Yeah.
So the bots that exist are more effective. They're very good at pretending to be humans. They're less likely to be detected by the people running the web servers and the endpoints. And the result is that we're seeing more effective phishing attacks and more credential harvesting than ever before. Yeah. So really, the criminals are kind of stocking up for the year.
Well, no, I mean, that's kind of the plan right now. It goes along with a lot of the other kind of activity we've seen when it comes down to AI and the information they're harvesting. I mean, they're gathering now so they can harvest later.
Yes,
which
exactly.
Which is
well,
exactly
so that they can use them.
They can use them later. No, that's exactly the thing.
So I also wanted to show you a scam. But you might be excited because I know you like to go to the Home Depot.
Okay, it is my church, but
this
yes.
Was by this is by Malvertising, this research.
Okay.
And they found rise in scams during October that were Halloween themed or fall themed.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah, so here's one where you could get a free Gorilla card for only $11.97, Matt.
Yeah, I just need to start a survey.
Yeah.
Let me knock this out really quick.
No, don't touch the survey. So this is a scam, of course. And it used to be the case that criminals would have these exploit kits, and we could warn people, here's a template. Now we have these fancy graphics, these beautiful designs, these logos integrated with images, all created by AI, or they can be created by AI. So it's very fast, and it looks like high quality marketing with perfect English.
So do I get the Gorilla card or not?
You know what? I'll buy you a Gorilla card if you don't click. How about that?
Perfect. All right.
No, but I mean, again, this is really common. And I love that I think you had pointed out earlier, a small processing fee may apply. So it looks like a free Gorilla card, but actually they're going to try to steal your credit card number and your money as well. Just type it into the system. But all of these can easily be rebranded and reskinned for the next holiday and the next, big thing that will get people to click.
Well, and when I looked at this originally, one of the big things that actually came to mind was the prevalence of people who are using their work computers for things like personal shopping.
That too.
You could very easily click a poisoned ad or click on something that's been SEO poisoned and end up infecting a work machine with something like a remote access Trojan or something like that. And I mean, that is another one of the elements that we saw in the ISAC report that is on the rise at this point. And again, there's AI backing most of this, which makes it really convincing and hard for people to spot. So yeah, I'd expect that we need to filter out things like those malicious ads and those spoofed websites a lot more effectively than we currently do.
This does tie in with malvertising, which we've been talking about, because now because of AI web search results, the real links to real websites are getting pushed down, and we see these sponsored malicious ads that bubble their way to the top instead.
Yeah, I wish I would have grabbed a screenshot of it, but I did a search yesterday for Walmart Black Friday 2025 deals.
Oh, no.
And the first 5 results that popped up were phishing websites.
I'm guessing you could probably do that again.
I'm sure I probably could, but it was pretty bad.
Well, I mean, I also worry about things like, remember the Uber hack, one of the Uber hacks in 2022. where it all started with a contractor's hacked personal device. And even if that contractor had been using a unique password, it wouldn't have mattered because they clicked on a malicious link, they got their personal device hacked, and that password was stolen and sold on the dark web.
Exactly, yeah.
According to Uber.
According to Uber, anyway.
So, I think we're going to see that happening over and over and over again, especially because of how normalized it's gotten for people to be using BYOD in their own personal devices to access work.
Well, and that brings up another point that we want to make here, and that's basically employee training, especially around this time of year. One of the hallmarks of these kind of attacks is a username and password is stolen. So if you've got multi-factor authentication on your corporate account but a reused password, what does that mean? Well, it means you're going to start getting pushes on your multi-factor authentication of people trying to log into the account. And this is where we see MFA fatigue attacks pop up very, very frequently. And a lot of people, again, fall for those kind of attacks. Our pen test team uses it all the time and with a lot of success.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the playbook right there. There was another report by Bitdefender that showed there was a 63% increase of Halloween-themed spam in the lead up to Halloween. And again, this is partly driven by AI because it's very easy, whether it's a skilled hacker or a novice hacker, it's easier for them to change up those attacks and to change up those phishing and email templates because of these advanced AI tools that we're now seeing.
Well, and it's getting easier for them to bypass things like security controls too, because when you look at that specific report, they talked about where these attacks were actually coming from. Like, most of them are going towards the United States, but about two-thirds of them are actually originating from within the U.S. And so if we have email security controls that are blocking, email from Russia, we're not going to catch those. So they're going to make it through your email firewall a lot more effectively.
So another thing that puts us at higher risk this time of year is the number of temp workers or new workers. And, there's a lot of transition around December and even January. We still see an increase in attacks after Christmas as well, like, hey, time for holiday returns or things like that. And again, people are still kind of in that mindset. So beware, it's not just Black Friday, it's not just the lead up to the holiday shopping season. We also see some attacks happening afterwards.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that are targeted are new or temporary. So think about, are you including scams in your employee training? And are you doing it right now in the lead up to that holiday shopping season and right afterwards?
Yeah, being proactive is the key here.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I know you probably want to talk about gift card scams.
I do want to talk about gift card scams. One of the elements that we pulled from the ISAC report was the massive increase in the amount of gift card scams, especially digital gift card scams, that happen right around this time of year. And it's because, in retail in general, we expect to see a huge increase in the use of digital gift cards. They're becoming more and more popular. And for those of you who have ever watched a presentation that we do on either phishing or AI, we've talked about gift card scams before. They're really, really common in targeting your employees by saying, the CEO is texting you saying they're in a meeting and they need $500 worth of Apple gift cards, text me the codes or something like that.
Yeah, hey, it's for a holiday bonus, or I really want to thank this person. We also see charity scams too at this time of year.
And around this time of year, those kind of messages are really, usually expected from people.
They resonate.
Yeah, they really do. And if your employees aren't trained up on spotting and avoiding those, they can very easily be caught up in that web, especially if we start using something like AI voice cloning, where maybe you're getting a phone call from the CEO asking you to go buy those cards. And the fact that we now are relying on digital gift cards and not physical gift cards, like I don't have to tell you to go to the store to get me gift cards. I can just have you log onto a website, click a couple of links, and now I've got your money. So, yeah.
I talked to a law firm that had I think it was a paralegal or maybe a new lawyer that spent $10,000 or $15,000 on gift cards out of their own personal money. Yeah. So you might not even have your corporate controls. They might say, hey, you told me to go get these gift cards. I'm waiting to be reimbursed. And your leadership is like, huh? I have no idea. And then you're between a rock and a hard place thinking like, do I reimburse this employee who fell for it? So again, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Make sure you're warning people. Do not go buy gift cards. Or if you do, call us. Yeah. We won't call you. And find other ways to reward employees.
Yeah, exactly.
Perhaps. We did some research with WormGPT this year.
We did.
Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so we were looking at WormGPT. For those not familiar with it, WormGPT is an artificial intelligence engine that we bought off of the dark web. And it is basically built for evil. So think ChatGPT, but with like no safety precautions in place.
It comes out and says it. It's like, I'm built for evil. I don't have any ethics. I mean, if an AI takes over the world, it's probably going to be one created by criminals.
Yeah, it's going to be something like that, yeah. But the The test that we wanted to do this time around was to ask it to generate basically holiday phishing scams for us. And it went ahead and did that. It built web pages for us. It gave us little dialogue messages we could use instantly. Yeah, so we had a holiday shopping scam that we could launch right now if we wanted to, based solely on the fact that we have access to this AI. And I mean, we're obviously not going to do that.
You know, I'm a little jealous because when I first started LMG, it was back in 2009. One of the things I did regularly was social engineering testing, and we still do that today. But I hand wrote this whole system. I set up a Linux server. I had to like code all the PHP to capture people's passwords. It was a lot of work. And incidentally, it was actually very similar to that Gorilla Cart. It was a survey. It was like, answer this survey and get a free iPad. And it was so effective.
Yeah.
So effective.
Now all you need is an AI prompt.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, WormGPT does this automatically. It did in less than 30 seconds what took me like hours to put together. And I had to maintain those scripts. I'm like a little mad at hackers these days.
Oh.
We had to walk 3 miles in the snow with our computers to hack people.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Well, you know, all jokes aside, though, I mean, this is what we're up against. I mean, this is what criminals are using to try to outsmart us at this point. So we really need to be on the ball.
They don't know how good they have it.
I know, right?
All right.
These kids these days.
Kids these days. All right, let's talk about our key takeaways. Number one, treat holiday scams as a business risk. You should care if somebody falls for a phishing scam on their personal computer, because probably their work password is similar. And even if it's not, if their home computer gets infected, that puts you at increased risk, for sure.
Yeah, no, of course. And you lead me right into our next one, which is to expect that passwords will be reused. Yes. We have seen time and time again that password reuse is a epidemic when it comes to security. And it's not just password reuse, it's just weak password usage. So using something that is a common phrase or adding an exclamation point to the end of a password you're using somewhere else, none of that is going to keep you secure. So make sure that if you are relying on passwords solely, that they are very long and very secure.
Do not rely on
passwords solely. But don't do that. Rely on something more like a passkey, single sign-on, strong multi-factor authentication, or something that is going to stop simply a password being stolen from being a gateway into your network. And make sure employees know about MFA fatigue attacks.
I like that you said strong MFA. Because we really do need to move away from phishing-prone multi-factor authentication pins that users they'll just give them to criminals.
Yeah, like, voice calls, pins, email.
Yeah,
stay away from those.
Don't make humans the gatekeepers. Use strong MFA like biometrics and passkeys and things like that. Filter out malicious ads and spoofed sites. Again, as we've been talking about for a few weeks now, we are starting to see spikes in malvertising, which are opening that gateway for criminals to come into people's computers and harvest credentials.
Yeah.
So filter them out if you have any control over their web surfing and systems.
Yeah, exactly. Next, make sure that because of how the industry is evolving, you are strengthening things like your bot and your fraud detection. If you are running your servers in the web, there can be a web app firewall control that you can put in place, or at least have a web app firewall. There are a lot of different ways to do this, but just to understand that bots are lightning fast. They are going to be going for credential stuffing attacks. So be able to identify when those attacks are taking place and be able to mitigate them if you do see them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Run some short awareness campaigns within your organization. Make sure you're including new employees, temporary employees, everybody. So do that push this week before Black Friday, and then repeat it in the lead up to the holiday shopping season around Christmas, and then maybe remind people right after Christmas. Because again, attackers are still going to try to target people.
Yeah. And then lastly, I'm sure you probably want to tag team this one, but remember that your personal security is also your corporate security.
Yes.
We have seen more than one instance where a compromised personal device has led to the compromise of a corporate environment. It's not just phones, it's your personal computer, it's your laptop, it's anything that you have access to that could potentially then regain access. So yeah, just make sure that everyone understands that their security does actually matter when it comes to your organization.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
Thanks, Matt.
Of course.
All right, stay safe this holiday season. Thanks everybody for tuning in to Cyberside Chats. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.